How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to check out 3 different ways to make money with Archeology, and we'll see just how much money we can make per hour using these different methods. So each of these methods is going to be pretty low intensity. You're not going to need to put too much effort in yourself. I wouldn't say fully AFK, but not far from. Alright, so the first method we're going to be doing is disassembling the rynetchii artifacts, and then making the small classic and the large historic component crates and selling those up to the GE. So in my inventory I have some really useful items for gathering artifacts. First of all, we've got the cosmic accumulator, which will prevent the sprite focus from dropping below 20% if you AFK a little bit too much, and it'll provide an extra 1% chance to get a 1% gain on the sprite focus. Next up, we've got the Ancient Elven Ritual Shard, which is basically an Excalibur for your prayer. That's just because I have imp sold on my mattock. Then next we've got the High Spec Monocle, which will just increase your base mattock precision by 20%, so you'll just get the artifacts 20% faster. And then we've got the Material Manual, which is just a 10% chance of getting more materials. And finally the Auto Screener, which will just get us some extra materials. Alright, so moving on to the gear, I've got the Master Archaeologist outfit. You can use the normal Archaeologist outfit, but it's just not going to be quite as good. And next up we've got the Brooch of the Gods, which basically just gives me an extra 1x multiplier on the sprite focus. And then we've got the Mattock for Space and Time, which has Honed and Imp Sold on it. And finally the Grace of the Elves, just to get some Seren Spirits. Alright, so gathering the artifacts, you can see that using this gear, just how quickly they're able to be gathered. The bar fills up pretty quickly, even if you're not following the time sprite. So you can do this super AFK if you really wanted to. However, I do suggest following the time sprite, because the bonus that you get from the sprite focus hitting 100%, you basically get a full artifact just from that. But essentially what you just want to do here is gather 40 of each of the dagger and the crossbow, and then restore them and disassemble them. Alright, so this took literally less than 30 minutes to gather 40 of the crossbow and of the dagger. So now all I want to do is just restore these, ready to disassemble. So I'll just start disassembling these, but it's these historic components that you're wanting to look for, and these are what you're going to need to create these crates. So these are the last artifacts that I need to disassemble. It's not even been 35 minutes or so since I started doing this, so now it's time to go make the crates. Alright, so you want to come to the Invention Guild and just create one of these small classic components crates, and then again do the same thing with the large historic crates. As you can see, the small crate goes for about 2.4 mil and the large crate goes for about 6.7 mil. Alright, so I sold both those crates off, and I brought along the materials to restore those artifacts to kind of compare on how much money you make from this. So the cost of the materials is about 5.1 mil, and in total after selling the crates we made 8.6 mil-ish. So that's about 3.4 mil in about 35-40 minutes. So this method's probably about 6 to 7 mil per hour, which honestly isn't too bad. Alright, let's move on to the next money making method. So for this method we're going to be getting materials from the Ancient Gravel using the Sift Soil spell on the Lunar Spellbook. So we're going to do 5,000 soil just because that's the limit on the GE. So the cost of all the materials is about 3.3 mil. So this method's super easy. All you need to do is keybind the Sift Soil spell and just make sure that the soil is in the soil box at all times. And every time that you get a material, the Water Fiend will have a chance to double it, so that's always extra money. You could make this method super AFK if you don't mind using up portent charges. I only personally didn't because I didn't want the materials getting mixed up in my material cache, and they will slightly eat into your profits and stuff, but you would also do them much faster. So it took me roughly around an hour or so, give or take, to do the full 5,000. You could definitely do more in the same time. I just AFK'd a little bit too hard and sometimes didn't notice my Water Fiend was full. But the total price for all the materials gathered from this was 13.2 mil, almost 13.3 mil. So that makes this method almost 10 mil per hour, and that's kind of being a bit lazy. That's just insane. Alright, so moving on to our final money making method, we are going to be Tetracompass farming. So I chose to show the Red Rum Relics 1 collection because it has lower requirements and is pretty efficient. However, the Red Rum Relics 3 is where you'll make more money in the long run. So in my inventory I've got all the materials required to make the full collection, as well as the chronotes that you would get back from handing in the collection. So as you can see, the chronotes that you would get back from handing in the collection is just over 1 mil, and the materials cost roughly the same, so you're not making money but you're not losing any money either. Once you've made the full Tetracompass, you just come to the obelisk and just power it up, and then follow it as if it was a clue scroll. And once you've found the spot, all you've got to do is just excavate it. It'll take about a minute or so, and then you should have yourself a casket. Now, just like a clue scroll, this is going to be completely random on the reward that you get. I mean, it could be anywhere between a mil and 4 bill if you get super lucky. But as you see in this clip, I managed to get 4 mil from my casket. So using this collection, I can probably get a full Tetracompass in about 45 minutes. So going off the basis of my casket in this video, you could look at this at about 5 mil per hour. However, like I said, there's obviously the Tony's mattock, which is very, very rare, but there's also the Dragon mattock, which is going for about 20 mil at the moment, so it's completely random. Alright, well, I'm kind of surprised at how much money Archeology kind of makes, to be fair. Having 2 methods around 6 or 7 mil is pretty good, but I'm extremely surprised at how much money you can make with the Sift Soil spell. 10 mil an hour for mindlessly pressing 2 buttons every 30 seconds is really pretty good. Anyway, that's going to be it for the video, so thank you very much for watching. Like it if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, and I'll catch you in the next one.